Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a quick guide on how to get Infinite Magicka. In order for you to do this, you're going to have to do a couple things beforehand, and you can actually do this right out of the gate, quite literally the Imperial Prison Sewer. So the first few things you're going to have to do, and what I highly recommend, is doing the alchemy and duplication glitch. The alchemy is really mainly to have the levels that you need, because after you're done casting these spells, you want to basically make all your OP, ridiculously strong spells that can one-shot everything, and make this game for, like, children. But at minimum, you're going to need at least $15,000 to $20,000 just so you can buy a lot of things from the Mystic Emporium, and you'll see why in a moment. The next step is to have access to a Altar of Spellmaking and an Altar of Enchanting. If you've already done the Mage's Guild quest lines all the way up to the Arcane University, you would already have access to these, so you could do them here. But again, if not, you're fresh from the prison, you can run all the way up to, or fast travel to, Wild Eye Stables outside of Bruma and turn east. And you'll know you're going in the right direction because you can see this fucking thing from quite literally space. So you just Skyrim skeezy jump all the way up to the mountain and you'll get to Frostcrake Spire. So after you get that, you come inside. There's a book just right over there on that hand that I'm pointing at, and it'll direct you down to the Mystic Emporium. You go in, you buy everything that you need. I would recommend buying all of the items, because if you run in through here, that's the vault. I don't want the vault. I want the living area. When you come into the living area, you would want to turn immediately right, and in this jewelry box, you'll find this ring in particular. Don't mind the poop, it's just in my inventory. Pentamagic Loop, which will give you a boost to all of your schools of magic by 5 points at the cost of some strength and some endurance. But again, we are true mages. We don't give a fuck about bonks. We want to actually destroy everything with a touch of our fingers. So, after you get all this stuff, you can run down over to Skingrad. You want to go to the Skingrad Mages Guild and get the weakness to, Drain Magicka. You can also pick up weakness to, where is it? Let me go to all spells. You can get the weakness to Magicka and even weakness to fire if you want, because you're going to add those to your spells later on, so you can, that's what literally does, like, absolutely fucking destroys and bodies everybody. But the main takeaway is to get your Drain Magicka. For some reason, I'm not able to find like a lower level Magicka Drain spell. The only one I've been able to find in the beginning of the game is Greater Magicka Drain, which does require level 50 Destruction, so I'd recommend getting it Destruction to level 50. Same as some of the attribute spells that I need, like the Fortify Magicka, I do believe is level 50 as well for Journeyman. So I recommend just getting your Destruction and Restoration up to level 50 before you cast a spell. You can do that by just getting Fortify Willpower, which you can get at any chapel except for Anvil, because it's an absolute massacre in there if you play Knights of the Nine. So yeah, any chapel spell vendor will sell you the attribute spell. And also, you don't really, there's no such thing as like a Fortify attribute. You just pick a willpower, an endurance, and when you go to craft it, it'll actually let you choose one. So after you get all that and you get your level 50 destruction, which I said you can do by you can literally just craft a fire on self for I do by 25 points just for 1 second, and you can just keep casting that. I usually cast it twice and then wait to replenish my Magicka and my health. You could arguably switch to Restoration and just cast to heal if you have a Restoration healing spell that gives you a good amount of Restoration experience. But honestly, I tried switching towards that. I think it's a little bit slower than just working on one. It's a little bit faster doing it this way. Again, if you have the spells to get your Restoration up, or your Restoration's already there, you could just make the spell right away. But this is mainly for people that are fresh from the level 1, fresh from the prison. So when you get to your level 50 Restoration and level 50 Destruction, what you want to do is you want to start making this dumb broken spell. So In order, you would choose your Fortify attribute, Intelligence, go to Self, 100, and again, your duration is whatever you're able to cast at. So at level 50, you can do 4. I also want to do a shout out to Ape Knight. I learned this this particular glitch from him, so definitely check out his channel. He does a fabulous job at explaining this, but I figured, hey, more videos on this, the better. So you would do that. Next step is to get your Fortify. Where are we at? Fortify Magicka. And we do the same thing. Self, 100. Do 4 seconds. And then lastly, you want to get your Drain Magicka, which is right here. 100. And then you go up to 4. Perfect. And you can name this whatever you want. But yeah, I already crafted it, so we're not going to bother creating. And then after that, you would come over. If you already picked up a Petty Soul Gem, which you should in the tutorial area, that's all you really need. You just need an article of clothing. You would need a Soul Gem, which you already did. And when you select it, it'll open up this, and you can choose whichever you want. I chose the name of Poop because I'm autistic as shit. And what you need to have this on is you need to have, I'll show you guys, you need to have Drain Magicka. So, we'll get right to the rat killing, and when you crafted this spell, you would equip it, and then you just hold down cast, just like that. And you're noticing that my restoration's already going up, because it is a restoration spell. And you're noticing also my Magicka isn't going down either, because if you look here, I started at 210, now we're at 936. And again, if you're at like 100 restoration, you can literally just like go AFK just as long as you're able to hold down your Magicka key or your Magicka buttons on console. And yes, you can do this on console as well. And you just keep going until you have the right amount of Magicka that you want to make stuff with. Just for the sake of it, I'll stop it right there. Again, you want to go higher. But when you're at a spot where you're good at, just let all your effects cool off. So now there's nothing. You'll know it's right when you have no Magicka. And then what you do next is you go to your inventory, you equip the Drain Magicka on Self, and you just hit wait, continue, and well, bam. Full permanent Magicka pool. Isn't that fucking great? Isn't it awesome? You can do insane stuff now. You can make all the spells in the world. You can make spells that just make you do dumb things. So, anybody that's had trouble with level scaling? Yep, not anymore. Thanks, Todd. Thanks, man.